You are now listening to WSN Wolf Sports Network, live from the University of West Georgia in Carrollton, now in Odyssey Station.
In the city of dreams,
three friends
return to the plate to strike out the semester. And we have our signature lineup of segments returning with Triple Play and Snake Your Case.
And we all have three separate lists. So that leaves me with Acuna with the 40-70 season at number one.
What was I saying before about what was my tough pickle spot?
Quarterback? No, what was it?
Tight end.
Tight end. Dude, that's everybody's
Guess who's going first as my tight end? Brock Bowers.
Oh, I knew that was...
Don't worry, we're bringing you the best interviews and what's going on this weekend in sports.
And so much more.
So grab a drink
and some popcorn
and get ready to enjoy the show.
This is Triple Threat.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We are back. Triple Threat is back, and we are so excited to be here. Fellas, how you feeling? New semester, final season. We're so excited.
Dude, I'm telling you, we are here. It is a beautiful foggy morning outside. You can't complain, right?
The boys are back in town. Let's go.
Dude.
I am stoked. I'm through the roof. I'm ready.
It's awesome. We got a beautiful morning here in the city of dreams, Carrollton, Georgia. Just excited to get this show going. So why don't we jump into some West Georgia Wolves?
And your Wolves are on the run.
So...
Man, it's been a minute since I've heard the stager.
It's been a little bit since we've been on the show, and a lot has happened not only in the world of sports, but in the world of West Georgia athletics. So, John, I'm going to kick it to you first.
Yes, sir.
We're going to go jump into a little bit of off-season football. There's been a whole lot going on down here in Carrollton for the football team since the end of the season. So why don't you refresh us or give us a little bit of a heads up of what's going on over there at University Stadium?
All right. Over at University Stadium, we have had our offensive coordinator go back to Ole Miss, originally where he came from. Dane Stevens back over at Ole Miss. Don't know what his exact job is. According to my sources, as of right now, they will promote the offensive line coach to the new OC position. As of right now, this is what I've been told. And then we technically didn't really have a DC this year. We hired a new DC in Woody Blevins, and then we also just got a wide receiver coach in Hazel Ray. And so those are no new coaches right there. But then with our recruiting class, we went hard with it. Coach Taylor's been kind of going hard.
Dude, Coach Taylor can get kids to Carrollton, I can tell you that.
Well, he got a 4-star linebacker to Carrollton. That's one of the biggest things. I would say that's the biggest recruiting program history right there.
Yeah, that might be that might be a safe assumption.
I would say so. So right there, you get the you get a 4-star, obviously, because he probably wants playing time. He chose he had Miami. He had he had some big schools.
He
probably
big Power 5 offers.
Yeah, so he's obviously wanting to play and learn right away. We got a 3-star quarterback out of Memphis and Brady Hughes. Just a lot of good pieces to help build this team. Obviously, we want to continue what we finished off of last season. With the win and getting the first conference win for that. So we just want to build from there and Just keep going with it.
Yeah, I really like what Coach Taylor's doing with this recruiting class, and kind of what he's done with all of his recruiting classes is he does go and outsource some talent, but he likes to keep it local. He likes to bring in guys from Georgia, and I think that that's really important in building a strong program, is running where that program is, being able to recruit in your backyard and not let other schools go out there and get those guys, especially where we are. We have talent in Western Georgia.
Absolutely.
High school football here means a whole lot more than it does where I come from, and that's something that I've almost had to get used to. Because I turn on the radio station I listen to, and I don't get country music on Friday nights in the fall. I get high school football. So seeing Coach Taylor go into our state, get guys from our backyard's big, but also the coaches he's bringing in. Hiring from within. That wide receivers coach, he's a Warner Robins offensive coordinator, so he's going out there.
He has the stats to prove it. And same thing with Woody Blevins. I know he was at a smaller college, but if you look at his breakdown in the article, he has really, really, really good numbers. So I'm excited that we have an official DC right now.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah, and to reiterate the point that John made, you talk about these recruiting classes that Taylor's had those last 2 seasons. I think a big part of it is, like we said, those players wanting to get that playing time. West Georgia is just going D1. This program's continuing to build. It's continuing to get better. And over the next, you do this for, 3-4 more seasons? West Georgia,
Once
they're
we're
gonna-
postseason
I'm
eligible.
going to say once you're postseason
Yeah.
eligible.
Yeah.
we are going to be a squad.
Kind of
so,
look at it as a what's the team out in Texas?
Tarleton?
Yes, that's what basically they made
Yeah.
playoffs after their four-year postseason ban.
Tarleton's good. But in other news, we got more sports than football.
That's
it ain't
true.
even football season, and we could talk about football all day. But we do have men and women's basketball. It's not quite been the season that the men's team won. It's not the season we expected. We thought there was going to be a step down, but we're sitting at 4-18 right now. So
Wow.
it's been
rough.
It's been pretty brutal this season for our men's team. The women's team, however, we've had a whole lot of fun watching.
Absolutely.
So, John, we were at the game yesterday, and actually, I'm going to kick it to Jason. I
let's
kicked it
say.
to you first last time. I'm going to kick it to my right-hand man, Jason, over here. We were at that women's game last night, and it was a really, really close one. Why don't you tell us what happened?
Well, first of all, calling your right-hand man is kind of ironic.
It's-
But anyways, last night was, dude, what a heck of a game. Now, I was off last night, so usually I'm filming the games. I was off, but I was still filming because,
Hey, camera 2 wasn't the same, I can tell you
I
that.
know.
man, he actually did a pretty good job. Hunter Mardaw, which actually, he is a part of the Sports Wit program this semester. So
Oh, really?
if you're out there and you're interested in becoming a part of the Sports Wit program, come here. Come to Wolf Sports Network, and we will get you signed up.
This guy will take care of you, especially.
That's
I
the
will
wit
take care of you.
coordinator.
But, dude, this women's team, man, like you were saying, they're having a much more successful season than the men. From last season, they didn't bring in as many players as the men did either. So there was a lot of returners. I think that helps with chemistry. I think that's a really big deal. I think that's much big of a difference. The women's team, their downfall, man, they just are not good at closing out the games. We
Yeah.
had two
Yeah.
overtime losses back to back like last week, and then you come
And
to this week.
yesterday, man.
You come to this week, and man, what a game! That we were ahead, they were bouncing back and forth, and you get to the last 10 minutes, and Central Arkansas goes on a 8-0 run or a
Yep.
5-0
Yeah,
run.
I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't the last
It was
4.
Yeah, it was like
Like,
an
it
8-0
was like,
run.
I mean, that entire game, I don't think there was a point where a team was up by more than 5 points.
Right.
Until the end, and even then it was a 3-point game. It was back and forth, back and forth.
had
It's just
We
the-
had the chance. To
yeah,
win.
it just seems to be an inability to close out games, but almost, I don't want to say encouraging, but this is a very young team too. So yet again, you give us a couple of years or even next year, that problem's probably going to be fixed.
Also, I gotta shout out Nari Holiday with that absolute
Oh, my goodness.
slam down. Just
Yeah.
absolutely put that arm up and knocked that
Packed
girl
that thing.
down like
One
ooh.
heck of a block.
I mean, that we went nuts when that happened. I
We
will say.
promise you that this women's team is interesting. They are
They're
fun.
fun to
Yeah,
watch.
they're so much fun to watch.
They are a good time. But the fact is, though, we say that they struggle in the end. They had a chance to win the game, or
They
at least
did.
go to
They had a
overtime.
couple chances at
They had a
least.
chance to go to
Yep.
overtime. We were just begging for one missed free throw, right? One missed free throw, and we got it. Call a timeout. The final play drawn up, execution just wasn't there. It was like that Illinois game the other day, or no, Indiana.
Oh, dude,
The
yeah, that
Indiana-
Jason and I watched. That was crazy. Yeah, Jason and I watched the game after church, just had it on in the background, and it ended up being like this guy hit a fadeaway 3 to win the game. Like, and right when we just happened to be watching it, it was pretty crazy. But yeah, that was a great game last night. And before we move on, I do just kind of want to put it in the minds of everybody. We got baseball and softball right around the corner, weeks away. So we're going to be busy here at Wolf Sports Network, that's for sure.
I want to say the men start on Valentine's Day. So for all you single men and gals, if you don't have a date, go ahead and just go support the
Come
support
out
the,
to
Go watch
Carrollton.
baseball.
Yeah, come
Or-
out to
and
Carrollton.
if you'd have a date, shoot. What's more romantic than
Go
a
watch
baseball
baseball.
game? Exactly. So go and support your Wolves as they start on February 14th.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, we're back. So lost for words, but we got West Georgia. Great. We gotta go to triple play. I can't get the words out of my mouth. Nothing was coming out.
It's time for triple play.
There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3.
All right, let's hope the words are back. We got triple play, our signature segment. We're real excited for it. John,
Yo.
I'm gonna kick it to you this time. Normally
Whoa,
Jason gets to tell
whoa.
us. Normally Jason gets to tell us what's going on, but
Dude.
John, why don't you tell us what our triple play is today?
Whew, man.
Changing
I
things
have
up, new
I have
season.
like a privilege today, man. What is it? My like lucky day or something we were talking about earlier? Okay. Anyways. All right. So our triple play this week is we are talking about playoff games, and the three games that we have is this year's national championship, Ohio State, Notre Dame. Then you have the Chiefs and the Bills in their AFC championship, and then the semifinal, right? Semifinal or quarterfinal?
It was quarter.
Quarterfinal, Arizona State versus Texas in the college football playoffs. Jason, let's hear it, buddy.
Oh,
us
wow.
off, brother.
Yeah,
Oh, we're
so
switching
this-
it.
Yeah,
We're
we-
having fun.
This order is crazy.
Ain't it fun?
Okay, so just shooting with my order, I'm going to have Notre Dame, Ohio State National Championship in my number 3 spot.
Okay.
I'm going to have the Arizona State, Texas game number 2, and Chiefs, Bills number 1. Wow. What do you got, Schrader?
So I'm going to go for the 3 spot, the Natty.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of just because it was, as we discussed earlier before the show, it was kind of a slow game until the end. It was like, oh crap, this is a ball game. But I'm going to Chiefs Bills. That was a good game. It was a close game, but it was nowhere near Arizona State Texas. That Arizona State Texas had everything that an amazing football game needs to have, and that's why that should undoubtedly be number 1.
Oh, undoubtedly.
All right. I'll finally not go 1 from 3. I'll go 3 for 1 here. So in my 3 spot is the national championship.
Mm-hmm.
My 2 spot is the Chiefs Bills game,
Mhm.
and my number 1 spot is Arizona State versus horns down.
This guy knows ball.
Texas.
Okay. Well, since I'm the odd
I
man
was about
out,
to say, explain
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah,
Explain
since,
yourself.
Explain
since
your
I'm the
case,
odd
sir.
man out, I'll let y'all explain Notre Dame, Ohio State. But my reasoning for Chiefs Bills number 1 and Arizona State and Texas number 2 is if Arizona State would have won that game, you're right, undoubtedly that would have been number 1. They did. They lost. They fell short, and you know what it was a comeback. It was a great comeback. People don't remember comebacks that did not follow through. Comebacks where they didn't win. So while the game was super interesting, Arizona State had no, they were the underdogs. And they came back and they fought.
Nobody expected Arizona State to win.
Right. Nobody expected them to win. They fell short. And when you look at the Chiefs-Bills game, you got to think about the things that surround it, right? That was to go to the Super Bowl. This was a quarterfinal game. Maybe also if Arizona State would have been a semifinal or even the champion, if it would have been the championship, that would have been insane.
Mm-hmm.
But this Chiefs-Bills game, it's the rivalry, right? You got to think about it. It's the Patrick
Yeah.
Mahomes. I don't know why that's
It's
in air
Mahomes
quotes.
versus
That's
Josh
a rivalry.
Allen.
Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes.
But Josh
Like,
Allen
that's-
ain't doing much in that rivalry.
Other than
But
having
it is
good-looking
a
hair.
fun rivalry. Whether they're winning or losing, it's like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, right? Even though Tom Brady wasn't doing much as far as success winning, that doesn't mean Tom Brady wasn't playing well in those games. They were interesting matchups. That's just the point there. But, yeah, I mean, you got to think about the rivalry. Back-to-back, go to the Super Bowl, and that's why it's my number 1.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could be number 1, but I think that this
Yeah.
Arizona State
I'm about to say.
Texas game, it encompasses what college football is,
Right.
in the sense that I guess yes, Arizona State did not win, but nobody forgets. This is a game I don't think people are going to forget
I'm about
about.
to say.
I think this game had an Arizona State team that people thought were going to get blown out of the water, and they did get blown out of the water
For most of the game.
3 quarters.
Yeah.
But then they flipped the switch, and Scatabo just came out and had one of the most insane stat lines I think we've ever seen.
Exactly.
We haven't seen a stat line like that in a while.
He won the game
He
MVP.
won the game MVP, and he lost.
I'm about to say. Also, and the thing is, you're talking about everyone expected Arizona State to get blown out. I actually worked the Peach Bowl, worked the Fan Fest as a volunteer, and I actually asked a couple Arizona State fans like, "How y'all feeling today? How you feeling about the team?" They're like,
cooked.
"Yeah." Someone said to me, "They're, you know what? We're done. I'm here with the kids, and I'm here to just have a great time with them.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna get blown out." And I said, "Hey man, have hope." He's like, trust me, I'll have hope, but it ain't much.
And
And
I mean-
surprising enough, Cam Scatterbo.
Yeah.
Or Scatterborough, whatever you want to call him. Dude, I
Scatta
forgot
got a touchdown.
yeah. Threw for a touchdown. I forgot about that in
that
that
was
game.
so crazy.
Over 200 all-purpose yards
But-
total. Like,
Yeah, and Scatterbo played great, but are we gonna forget about Auburn? That kicker
Oh my
over there
gosh.
for Texas?
Yeah.
Because that's another
man
thing
who
that just
sold-
adds
another thing.
a fifth
Missing
dimension to
two?
this game.
Missing 2 is crazy.
Dude, if Texas lost that game, he'd have to fly Delta home.
One
There's
for-
no way he's getting
one
let on
for
that plane back
three,
to,
Yeah.
back to
longest
Austin.
being 22 on the night.
And he's not like the crazy thing about that is Auburn's not necessarily a bad kicker. He's one of the better kickers in college football, more reliable,
I
and
think
he
he's
has
got
been
in his
for
head.
years.
That's the biggest stage they've
I
been
think the moment got to him twice.
Well,
though.
also
It
at the
was
same time,
insane.
you saw
That is
Sarkisian go up to him and talk to him. Then Nick Saban talked about it on College Game Day. He's like, look, I don't know why he talked to him. I'm not going to go talk to him because I don't want to change his thought perception on what he's going on through right now. I think that definitely was Sark talking to him. Definitely messed him up right there, and it just obviously added on to the game because he had 2 times to do it, two chances.
Yeah, I think what did it was the Arizona State equipment staff. Did everybody see
Oh
that
my
video?
gosh,
Where
yes.
What happened?
he was like kind of doing his warm up, kind of kicking into the net, and then the
Oh,
equipment
I
staff
did
for
see
Arizona
that.
State just
The-
walks right through.
the 2 girls.
Yeah.
And the dude's like, go, 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 go.
And they're
Yeah.
taking their sweet time. I think they knew what they were doing. They were getting in his head a little bit, but yeah, I think that moment was too bright. But just watching that game and just like there's so much happened that just made me go, what in the world is going on? I mean, Arizona
know.
State was a play away. They were a 4th
Yeah.
and 13 away. All you got to do is like keep the ball in front of you. What do you do? Blown coverage, touchdown.
Down.
Next play, give them another touchdown.
Arizona.
Flip the game on its head.
Arizona State played their hearts out that
They did.
game.
Oh,
They
absolutely
converted
they did.
how many 4th downs did they convert? How
Dude, I
many?
don't even
Like
know.
they had 2 trick punts.
It was wild.
Like they went out there. They wanted to win that game. That was impressive. You're right. That game does just breathe and show what college football
does.
really is.
And
so
and that's not to take away from that Chiefs Bills game, because that game, I mean, we watched it together. That was an amazing game, and
Yeah.
and those games are starting to they're starting to worry me that Josh Allen is just the next Jim Kelly.
Gosh, don't you say that? He's
I'm
a
just
great
saying, though.
You have a point because
He's a great quarterback, and so
Yeah.
is Jim Kelly.
Yeah.
But he cannot get past Mahomes in the playoffs. And it's getting to the point where it's like, all right, brother, you've had how many AFC championships against Patrick
how
Mahomes?
many appearances overall?
Exactly. I mean, it's getting to the point where I don't know when we start, and I don't know how y'all feel about this, but
It's
when
like
do
the
we
Billy
start?
Goat curse almost, but for
When do we
Bills,
start
man.
thinking the Bills are just doing what they did in the '90s?
I mean, if you don't get me wrong, that game was
they made it to the Super Bowl though.
They did. They did.
Well, that's
So
all-
they-
because now I feel like with Josh Allen, you're gonna be throwing the question around: can Josh Allen make a Super Bowl? Can he really even win an AFC Championship? Heck, can he even make a divisional round at this point? Not that we know he can,
Well,
but it's kind of a
he just
stretch
did.
there. It's a stretch. I know it's a stretch there to say that,
Yeah,
but it's
that
like
is
the
a
whole
stretch.
thing. Like people are gonna keep questioning all of these things because you see him just get there and he's just never able to get past Mahomes, and it's just like, yeah, you're gonna see this a lot, but. Gosh, if I'm Josh Allen, I don't want to be Mahomes' friend. I mean, that'd drive me nuts. What is it? At least four times he's lost to Mahomes in the playoffs. No, he's 0-6, I think.
6 in the playoffs. I don't know. I don't know
I
the
saw
exact
I
stat,
saw
but
a
it ain't
graphic
pretty.
yesterday that explained it, but you get the gist.
For Notre Dame, okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, that, yeah.
Let's go to Notre Dame in the 3 spot national championship. Schrader, you and I were talking about it just
Yeah.
a little bit before. Notre Dame was not in this game for 2.5,
They were
almost
the
3
very
quarters
first
of
drive of the game.
Dude, that first drive of the game was beautiful.
It was.
But
was
it
very
ruined the
beautiful.
rest of their game.
Yeah, they put out all their chips. It seemed like they went all in
They just
on
took
that first drive, and like they were not that same team for that second quarter. It was kind of embarrassing for a little bit, and then you add on, then they missed a field goal in the third quarter, and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
Notre Dame's not going to win this game.
But they clawed
Notre
back.
Dame
Wait a
tried to
minute.
claw back. It was a
They
late
did claw
run
back.
attempt.
They came really close. I mean, they were If they didn't run cover 0 there,
Yeah.
they probably would have had a chance to have the ball back and go down and tie the game.
Yeah, but I'll say, like we said with pre-show, I mean, Emeka and Buka, literally when they're sitting there, and he just goes, oh, they're playing soft coverage on Jeremiah Smith.
101.
Like,
Jeremiah Smith,
I saw all the memes. It's like, why are you running soft coverage on Jeremiah Smith? You have to double team that freak of an athlete.
Bro, and it was crazy though that Jeremiah Smith wasn't even the star of that game for Ohio
Shoot,
State.
he wasn't
you
at
know?
the very
He
end, bro.
wasn't. Yeah, it was
Judkins
Judkins the whole
was
entire
out
game.
himself a day.
Then you had Jeremiah Smith just coming when it mattered the most at the end of that game and showed why he is the star and he's been the star, especially
Also, don't
for
forget
the
about Jack
playoffs.
Sawyer. I gotta say, shout out. I became a huge fan of Jack
Sawyer's a
Sawyer.
dog.
I love his message and drive behind it. I will say that.
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting game. It was one of those, like, I kind of started watching it off and on. I wasn't really paying attention. And then I got this notification that was like, hey, it's an 8-point game. Turn on this game if you're not watching
Sound
it.
the alarm.
And that's what I did. The second I turned it on, I watched Will Howard throw a rainbow to Jeremiah Smith streaking down the field with a little puny defensive back behind him going, oh, crap, oh, crap, oh, crap. And that was the end of the game. So it was an interesting national championship for sure, but definitely takes the 3 spot for triple play, which, fellas, that does it for our first triple play of this season.
All right.
That was a pretty good triple play. That was good conversation.
Felt good in the bones.
But now we are going to take a quick break, and we will be back in a second.
You are listening to Triple Threat here on Wolf Sports Network. Hey, do you want to be a part of Wolf Sports Network? Yeah! Well, I have some good news for you because you can join us. So if you want to learn more about this, go to wolfsportsnetwork.com and click WIT Sports Program. With becoming a WIT, you expand your knowledge in the sports radio world and join our ever-growing family.
New face over there, you're not tripping. We got my guy JT over here shadowing the board. He's running through the WIT program right now.
Brandon, how you feeling, baby? Welcome to
I'm
Sports
feeling
Fan.
great being on here for the first time.
And we can't wait to meet you once you join us.
Wolf Sports Network is content heaven for a sports fan, but their show Sports Pack is my personal favorite. Sports Pack airs on Mondays and Thursdays from 6 to 7 on Wolf Sports Network, filled with fresh personalities, funny moments, and piping hot takes, along with call-ins that allow listeners to get in on the action. Check out Sports Pack every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 7, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Sports fans, are you looking for a show where you can see other sports fans sharing in your misery and excitement? Then Sports Out of Pocket is for you, because we're fans too, and we experience our highs.
Bertigine is not a safety. He's just a corner who will lock down your number one.
And our lows.
Trayshawn Ward. Screw you, buddy. You were on our team last year, and you gave us no mercy, okay?
So join us every Wednesday at 5 to cheer and boo along with us, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Hello?
Hey there, sir. Have you heard the news?
What news?
Sports Pack is back. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The start of a new semester means that Sports Pack is back on Mondays and Thursdays from 6 to 7 here on Wolf Sports Network. It's time. To snake your case.
Fun?
Ladies and gentlemen, as we just heard, it is time to snake your case. We're back with Snake Your Case, probably my personal favorite segment on
I
this
love
show.
Snake Your
Triple
Case.
Threat's fun, but Snake Your Case just has something
mean
something
Triple Play
about
is
Triple
fun.
threat is fun.
Yeah, Triple Threat is fun.
Triple Play
Triple
is
Play is
fun.
fun.
I
They're
do
so
the same
similar.
thing. I know.
But it's time for Snake Your Case. Now, I just realized as the stager was going, I have no idea who's picking the order.
Oh, my goodness.
So,
Rock, paper, scissors, right now.
in honor of it being his last show,
Okay, that's
I am going to
fine.
let the Jason Barker pick our order for Snake Your Case, which this week is the biggest what ifs in sports.
All right.
Dun dun dun. I was I was waiting for a little bit more in the background there.
Yeah, sorry.
Dun, dun, dun.
There we go, Jason. So, Jason, why don't you tell us what order we will be going in?
All right. Starting the
hand
semester off
picked.
right. Yep. Our last season.
Mhm.
Are we, we're saying that live
Yep.
here on air?
Yep. I'd
Last
say it's
season of
safe to
Triple
say
Threat.
this
You
is
know,
the
I
last
am-
Oh,
season
man,
of
you just
Triple
pulled the
Threat.
heartstrings, man.
I am a senior. I'm getting too old for this.
Yeah, you're getting too old. You're senior.
But man, it's been an honor, and I do love Snake Your Case.
Mhm.
With that being said, our order today will be rightfully our host, who's been our host on air all the days. He will be going first. I will give myself the second spot, and I will give Mr. John Halley the third spot.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right. Well, first, I got my easy pick. I think it's the biggest what if, one of the biggest what ifs. Biggest what if in probably NBA history. Give me Derrick Rose.
Man.
Derrick Rose, number 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Hey, you gotta type it down.
I did.
okay. Well, that is not where I thought you were going to go.
Really?
Really, that is not where I thought you were gonna go. Especially, never mind. I'm gonna go with Babe Ruth. As my number 1. What if Babe Ruth would have stayed with the Red Sox? The Red Sox sold him.
Man. All right. And my biggest what if, I'm gonna go more recent here. What if Tyler Simmons was never offsides? You know what I'm talking about? No?
We'll have explanation
think so.
time.
You
We'll have
can-
explanation time.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead and explain it. I got to write it down.
Talking about it was national championship against UGA and Bama in 2017.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
the punt. It was the punt, or it was punt. Basically, you can see the freeze frame on the side that the ball was way long snapped past the blockers and everything, and they called Tyler Simmons offside. He just timed it perfectly. So that's something that's always lived in mind. And then, I can go 2 routes here with this pick. I feel like I could go a little fictional here, or I can just go to the
Fictional.
NFL. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it exactly would play into it, but you know what? I'll say it. And it was going to be one of the strangest things. What if Lightning McQueen signed with Dynaco after the
Okay.
first movie?
Oh my god.
Okay, you're getting that. That's yours.
That's hilarious, bro.
that's amazing.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Hey,
Oh
you didn't
my
expect it, right?
gosh. This Snake Your Case is already going crazy. I don't know where I'm going right here. There's a couple. I think I'm going to save this one for Schrader. See if he is going to go this route. For now, I'll go with what if Kurt Warner would have stayed in his contract at the supermarket?
Ooh, stays at the
I like that.
supermarket. Okay, y'all are going, dude. I got
Hey,
I got to
listen.
hear that one, and I'm gonna pick this one in honor of Richard Reed because I just saw it in the chat, and it's one that I really,
Hey!
really like. So
That
Richard,
is illegal.
thank
Veto!
you. That's not illegal.
Veto!
What if
What?
Seattle
Richard?
ran the ball?
Oh. That's
I had
that-
to,
that-
I saw
that's a
that.
pretty
I had
good
to
one.
take it. Richard
Richard
helped me
Reed,
with that.
keep your lips shut. Well, I
So
guess- I
what if
guess
Seattle ran the
he can
ball?
type,
And
but-
then this one, I feel like people don't think about that much simply because this man disappeared off the face of the planet after he retired. But what if Andrew Luck had an offensive line? What if he didn't retire early? Could he be one of, if not the greatest quarterbacks in the NFL?
Oh man, Andrew Luck.
What if Andrew Luck didn't retire early? Because people don't understand.
How
He
g-
retired at the top of his game, and he
And
retired.
It shocked the NFL.
It did, because he didn't have an offensive line, and he was always getting hurt. So I'm going to go, what if Andrew Luck had an offensive line?
Man, Schrader, you surprised me with this list. I'll save it for honorable mentions. I thought about taking it, but I think the better route and better case for what if, for all the implications, is what if Barry Bonds did not take steroids? What if? I think that changes a lot of things, actually.
It does.
But
He could have gone to the Hall of Fame. Or
but-
would he be worthy of the Hall of Fame?
Dang.
Dun, dun, dun.
Doo-doo-doo. All right. You know what? I was just thinking about this the other day, and it was just, an NFC championship. And what if Drew Brees and the Saints got the call for PI?
Oh,
What
yeah.
if
In the
that PI was
divisional.
called?
Ooh.
Yeah. And then, I forget.
Was that 3?
Yes, it is 3 for
Okay.
me.
This
And
is his last
then-
one. What's he
so
going
we're
to do?
doing. So we're doing 4.
I guess.
I say we do 4.
Okay.
We always
Why
run
not?
Okay.
Yeah, we've
four.
always
Cool.
ran 4.
Yeah, 4 makes sense.
And man, because I just saw something. I had to look up a little list just because brain's kind of sputtering, brain farts everywhere. But what if MJ, Michael Jordan, the GOAT, never retired in the first place from the first stint? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, his first when he
Yeah.
went to go play baseball.
Yeah. What if he
Alright.
never retired?
I don't know what y'all are talking about.
Michael Jordan retired in the middle of his career, middle-ish of his career to go play baseball. He
You didn't
played in
know
the
that?
minors for the White Sox.
I knew that he had retired and done a thing, but like
Yeah.
I'm not a big NBA guy. So, like
But
we all
true.
know that.
Hey, but it's something to think about.
Um,
It's the GOAT after all,
All right. Well, I was thinking we were gonna take 3. I will now take this one. I thought you were gonna take Schrader a long time ago.
Hey, you got it.
What if Jose Fernandez would
Never
not have
passed away.
not got in that accident? What if I?
He would have gotten traded to the Yankees.
That's crazy.
Well, for my last pick, I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with another football one that a lot of people think about because of how polarizing this player was, and it's just kind of fun to think about. What if Johnny Manziel made it in the NFL? I feel like what if Johnny Manziel was the guy to save Cleveland
Yeah.
or to do something with Cleveland? I'm not quite sure
for how special he was in college.
exactly for how
It's like the same thing. It's like
special is a
what
really
if
good
Tim
word to
Tebow-
describe what he was in college. But what if Johnny Manziel was the savior of the Cleveland Browns organization?
A lot of things would have had to have been different for that to play out.
Yeah.
That's not so black and white.
Dude.
You know.
Yeah, I mean look, I loved watching Johnny Manziel's tape. I gotta admit, and obviously from his documentary and just all the stuff that went on, just the fact once he made it to the NFL and just all the things that occurred to it, it's sad to see. And really, he could have been a very, very special talent, but it was the whole thing that happened at A&M.
A&M.
Win or lose,
Doo-doo heads.
Yeah.
So, John,
Yes, sir.
would you care to explain, your what ifs or what would happen
Yeah,
if Light and McQueen would have went to
Enlighten our
Dynamite.
viewers, because this is something that's very, very important in the world of sports that I feel like not a lot of people understand.
Talking
So
about-
please,
Talking about with old Lightning McQueen,
please,
right?
Yes, please enlighten us.
Well, listen.
Please enlightening us.
You guys, you've watched the Cars movie.
Ka-chow.
At the very end, Tex, owner of Dynaco, after the whole ending race pushes him through the finish line. Lightning pushes the King through the finish line, right? He did a little talking. He says, "Why don't you come join Dynaco?" And he looks back over at them and he's like, tells them thanks that, Rusty's just gave me my big break though. And I think I'm going to stay with them. Obviously, your Tex, you're absolutely destroyed right there. You have someone who's about to be more of a record setter right there. After that, between these movies, I mean, this man went international, and then you saw in Cars 2 in the beginning, he was winning boatloads of races. He's winning all these piston cups, man.
wild, bro.
Dude, I'm telling you, he's first off, for the brand of Dynaco.
Right.
First off, you at that point, second movie, you're going international Dynaco. Then you get the slick blue paint. I'm not gonna lie, blue Dynaco, Lightning McQueen, one of my favorites, personal favorite. I'm not gonna lie, but the
We
whole
got
thing,
this man geeking.
I
dude,
know, yeah.
I mean,
he's
there's
going
enough to get
crazy.
Mater in a helicopter, right? I mean, simple as that. But still, I just feel like it's not that it holds on to story for him to stay with Rusty's, and I love it, Rusty's, all that. But dude, I'm telling you, the amount you could have done more with Dynaco was,
Yeah.
dude.
They had the deep wallets,
Oh, they have the
did,
deep
bro.
wallets. They have the deep wallets. What do you mean? At the end of
But it's not all about money.
at
not
the end
all
of
about the money.
Cars 3, freaking Tex buys Rusty's, and it's Rusty's Dynaco now. I'm telling you, I know my Cars lore just a little bit.
Yeah, he likes cars a little bit. But to get back on I'm not even say to get back on track. We were on track
We
with
were
that
on
one.
track.
But to switch topics a little bit, I do kind of want to talk about my pick in Seattle running the football.
Yeah,
Or Seattle not running the football.
run the
And
dang
how
ball.
insane that call was. And I don't know if you really think about that. But just you're Pete Carroll. You're on the 1 yard line, the Super Bowl's on the line. And you have a man by the name of Marshawn Lynch,
who is
in
the
your
best
backfield.
running back in the league that year.
What has to be going through your mind to say, I'm going to throw this football?
All right. Playing devil's advocate here, okay?
Please, because I feel like there could be a case for throwing the football.
Right. Because, like you say, everybody thought they were going to run the football.
Mhm.
So why do what everybody thinks you're going to do, right? in the biggest moment, you don't want to do what everybody thinks you're going to do. And
Or do you?
no, you don't.
joking.
Now, would he have got the touchdown? Like, I mean, that is like the last play. You're in the Super Bowl. You are laying your entire life. You are doing what that one dude against the
Washington.
tush push, the Washington.
Yeah.
Lavu.
Yeah.
You're doing that until they award them a touchdown.
Yeah.
That was wild.
You're doing that, but you are laying your body on the line right there. You are going to stop that man. Like, who's to say? I'm not going to say you are going to stop that man. He could have
Right.
not stopped him, but that's a what if he would have made it. I think that they get a lot of hate for that play. Obviously,
Yes.
They should get a lot of
Obviously.
hate for
It's
that.
been it's
Obviously.
been explained though that the fact that
Yeah.
was like the designed package that they had for that scenario. Like
Yeah.
you go down the goal line, that's what it was. But it's of course you have Marshall Lynch, you have a
Yeah.
beast, you have beast mode.
But-
You ain't running in
and-
beast
and-
mode. You ain't audibling and like, all right, we're just gonna hand it off to you. and You're gonna jump in there.
And Butler, he was watching his film. Like that's one of those things
The
you
Patriots planned for this.
You just have
Yes.
to tip your hat. You have to tip your hat at that point. That is a NFL professional
Well,
play.
I mean, you say Butler was watching his film. Butler was just trying to be able to play. Butler was
Because
not.
he was signed in the postseason, right?
Yes, he was a practice squad guy all year, and then he was kind of just given the opportunity because of a couple injuries, I believe. And so he was more like that was like the play that they practiced with him. Like he wasn't really playing in that Super Bowl, and they kind of threw him in that play, and he made that play. And now the other thing, like you said, they get a lot of hate, and I think they should get a lot of hate because I think that this play call was risky in the sense that, hey, that works. If you throw that touchdown, you should be
win.
praised for it.
You went back
'Cause,
to
hey,
back.
You didn't do what they thought you were going to do. You went back to back. That's a huge accomplishment. But if you don't get it, what are you doing? You have Marshawn Lynch, right?
Dude,
like,
now
you
that,
have
makes,
one
that
of the
brings
best
another
power
what
backs
if
of
to
all
me.
time.
Like obviously, if they won that Super Bowl, then what if Russ never leaves Seattle?
Well,
You
yeah,
know?
I mean that happened.
When I'm talking about
way
if you have
later.
the two Super Bowls, if you have the back-to-back Super Bowls, what does that do to the whole?
Yeah.
Like, what does it do to the whole team? Like, do we see more of the Legion of Boom and all that? Like, it's strange. I don't know.
Babe Ruth's. I'm
I
gonna
was
go
about
with
to ask you about one of yours.
I'm gonna go with my first one. Babe Ruth. They sold him for $125,000. At
That's
that
a
time,
lot of money right
yeah.
back then.
Heck of a
At that
contract.
time,
I thought you were just gonna stop at 125, and I was like, oh, that's kind of funny.
at that time, and fact check me, please, John.
Yeah,
but that is a lot of money.
What year was it when the? Well, no, because
20-something?
conversion rate.
Old.
Conversion rate.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. Oh, just
Continue,
figure out what the
continue, continue.
Anyways, if he would have stayed in Boston, right, and he stopped pitching at some point in his career. When you think about Boston's field compared to
Yankee Stadium.
Yankee Stadium, I'm not saying that the Red Sox are a pitcher-friendly stadium, but they're more pitcher-friendly than the Yankees. Does that make a difference with him continuing pitching? Maybe his numbers do add up and stack up a little bit with the Shohei Ohtani thing because he did, again, stop pitching at
Okay.
some point. The Red Sox, they would have been known for having Babe Ruth. You know, that would have been their guy. That's franchise altering.
So it was $210,000 for 3 years for Ruth to be a Yank. In today's money, that's $3.8 million.
Oh,
the contract.
dang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's not as crazy as we thought. I mean, for sports
Well,
back in the
back in the day,
back in the day,
back in
that's big.
27, yeah, $210,000 is
Well,
you
yeah,
know,
but even in the conversion, say you get the greatest player of all time and you sign him for
$3
$3.8
million,
million,
no,
like
he's not giving 700.
I don't know what
plus
that owner's
million.
doing, but he's doing it well.
Yeah, but and then real quick on Kirk, like if he would have, that's trusting in yourself, believing in yourself, knowing you can do
Such a great story.
things.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Such a great story.
there's documentaries, there's all these stuff on this, and he goes on. You know, we know everything about the Super Bowls, the MVP in '99, and the greatest show on turf.
Yeah.
You know,
What an
that
offense,
that
dude.
era, that
Mhm.
reign, and that's all trusting in yourself. You know,
Exactly.
and
Just
putting
the,
in the work.
the fact that you say that, like, this is a Hall of Fame quarterback who was working at a supermarket in his 20s.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, in his 20s. So that's just huge. And the fact that he just bet on himself, go play in the Arena League, playing in rodeo stadiums way out in the Midwest, to all of a sudden playing in the Dome in St. Louis and
Yep.
winning a
The
Super Bowl is one heck of a story, for sure, for Kurt Warner. So that wraps up Snake Your Case this
Ka-chow.
week, and that was a really, really good Snake Your Case. I think we all had some really,
think we had some
really
fun
good
ones there.
points brought
Yeah.
up there. So that was pretty fun, especially the Cars lore. You always got to bring that in. when you
That was
can.
deep,
So, with that said, we will take a quick break, and we will be right back for This Weekend in Sports.
This is Jackson Schrader, and you're listening to Triple Threat, now live on Wolf Sports Network, Fridays from 11 to 12.
Hey, do you want to be a part of Wolf Sports Network? Yeah! Well, I have some good news for you because you can join us. So if you want to learn more about this, go to wolfsportsnetwork.com and click WIT Sports Program. With becoming a WIT, you expand your knowledge in the sports radio world and join our ever-growing family.
New face over there, you're not tripping. We got my guy JT over here shadowing the board. He's running through a WIT program right now. Brandon, how you feeling, baby? Welcome to Sports
I'm feeling
Back.
great being on here for the first time.
And we can't wait to meet you once you join us.
You know who it is. It's Carly. And I have one last semester.
Colorado State just announced that they will be joining the Pac-12 along with a bunch of other Mountain West teams. I have the absolute honor to sideline report on ESPN
Yes,
Plus.
sir.
Florida State is a fraud and has always been a fraud.
Let's make it a good one. Tune into Sports Pack every Monday and Thursday at 6 p.m. on Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
It's a brand new season, and you know what that means. A brand new series.
Kool-Aid Jackson Cook.
Mark my words, by the end of his career, Nolan Arenado will be better than Chipper Jones.
Jackson Cook.
New short series, exclusively on Wolf Sports Network YouTube.
Kool-Aid Jackson Cook.
Make sure to like and follow on all socials for more content.
Sports fans, are you looking for a show where you can see other sports fans sharing in your misery and excitement? Then Sports Out of Pocket is for you, because we're fans too, and we experience our highs
Bertigine is not a safety. He's just a corner who will lock down your number one.
and our lows.
Trayshawn Ward. Screw you, buddy. You were on our team last year, and you gave us no mercy, okay?
So join us every Wednesday at 5 to cheer and boo along with us, only on Wolf Sports Network.
This Weekend in Sports. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that again. That is my favorite thing in the world.
You know what it is? The best stager.
It is the best stager. Let me just say, we make the best stagers here at Triple Threat, especially at Wolf Sports Network. John and I cooked that up in about 2 seconds. I
About
just
a good
need
2 minutes tops.
maybe. I mean, that needs to be said every time I hear that, just because it is music to my ears. Anyway, This Weekend in Sports.
What's going on this weekend, Schrader?
When I sat down to kind of figure out what we were going to talk about, in my mind, I'm like, there's really not that much going on. But all you got to do is look at ESPN, and you can tell the world of sports is always popping.
Always.
And first and foremost, I don't know how long we'll be talking about this, but we got the Senior Bowl and the joke that some people call the Pro Bowl going on right now. So, John, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Senior Bowl and what your thoughts on that are?
So just general for the Senior Bowl, it is you're invited to this, and basically it's any college senior that is draft eligible that's declared for the draft, and they all play. They practice out the whole week. They become kind of teammates. You have NFL coaches coaching there. But it gives guys to help rise their draft stock a lot before combines, pro days, just workouts and all that. And so really
Or
it's
hurt their draft stock.
I was
very
thinking that
true.
Too. Shiloh Sanders is struggling.
I'm surprised he's even at the Senior Bowl. I'm not going to lie. But still, it's just something that helps, also come together. And you just see guys get to go out there and have lots of fun. Plus, sponsored by Reese's. Can't go wrong with them, right? Back to the old, snake your case with the old, candy picks,
Yeah.
But really just there, and then you just get to see I think you get to see also the really creative side with people with their helmets. You saw Dylan Gabriel.
I did see
with
that. That was really cool.
Oklahoma, UCF, and Oregon on
Repped every team he played for, which I think is a
tradition
pretty
that they have.
crazy
If
move.
you've played for more than one school, you put your school stickers on there. They
Right.
want you to rep your teams no matter what,
Right.
Because it means something at the end of the day.
It does, and like that even goes to Jalen Hurts. Kind of, he always says, what do you say, like roll Sooners, something like that. He says something along those lines where he reps both schools.
Roll Sooners.
I don't know. I'm not an
Ugh,
SEC
that put a
guy.
shiver down my spine.
Anyway,
next thing.
we got the Senior Bowl going on, and like I said, we have that joke we call the Pro Bowl. I could just say, dude, the Pro Bowl is dumb.
Bro,
The Pro Bowl's dumb.
I was just like rewatching the relay
It
race.
makes no sense.
And I was like, is this like competitive speed walking we're watching right now? Like I
Dude.
know they added that to the Olympics
Right.
and
You
all
know
this
what?
stuff.
You
but
just
like,
watch all of it. It's just stupid games.
What?
You know what Pro Bowl I want? I want Sean Taylor nailing the heck out of that fake punt.
Dude, that
Pro
was
Bowl.
so
That's
crazy,
a Pro Bowl
dude.
right there.
He gave that man microwavable CTE. Just 60 seconds. Boom.
But that's a Pro Bowl right there.
Exactly.
That's a Pro Bowl.
That's what we want to watch because that's like an all-star game, and I know.
Or also like
injuries this,
2016
injuries that. You got the
Hawaii
offseason.
Pro Bowl with Odell Beckham and all that.
Right.
Like that. Those
That was
were
a
the
heck
fun
of
Pro
a. It used to
Bowls.
only be in Hawaii.
Dude, I saw that should have been a what if. What if the Pro Bowl stayed in Hawaii?
Yeah.
What if? Honorable mention right there.
Anyway, the Pro Bowl, yeah.
my favorite part. Let's not hate on it completely.
Okay, true.
I like seeing the quarterback, the accuracy competitions. I think
Yeah.
that's
I
fun.
like
The
that,
AFC versus the NFC.
Jared Goff balled out.
Jared Goff did ball out, bro. He put
balled
up
out.
39 points. What a dog. Jared Goff is such a good quarterback.
He is.
He is so good.
I love him. I think he's a great quarterback. I love the Lions, obviously. John and I are big Lions guys.
Huge
It's
Lion
kind of
guys.
our little team that we like. It's our little side team, you know. That's the
Yeah.
one that's
Side-
the one we
side
root for.
piece.
So yeah, I mean, I love Jared Goff, and I don't know. I just struggle with the Pro Bowl because it's not that impressive. Like you're watching guys speed walk, and what did they have to do to get there? They had to be the best football players on the planet.
Yeah.
And their reward, their recognition,
You get a speed
is
walk.
speed walking. Like it doesn't make much sense. But there is much more going on, and something kind of going over to women's basketball.
Back
which
to
is,
it.
Yeah, collegiate women's basketball. Michaela Blakes for Vanderbilt, the freshman, dropped an SEC record 53 points last night against the Florida Gators.
No better team to do it
Yeah,
against.
I was about to say, if you're going to break records, do it against Florida. I see
Yeah.
John's got the stats up
Yes.
there right now. Let us know about that.
So, obviously, we know the old 53 points. She was 16 of 18 on free throws, 5 of 9 on three-pointers, and 16 for 24 on the night.
Shot really well.
Just an elite shooter right there.
Yeah,
That's really what it
yeah.
is. I mean, it surprised me because I was like, well, it's Vanderbilt. It's like, they're not good. And
This is the first time they've been ranked in 11 years.
I was about to say, I was like, they're not good in women's basketball. And then, you look up and you see that there's a 23 next to their name. And then also, like, West Georgia women's basketball played Vanderbilt. She dropped 24 on us.
Yeah.
24 is 24, but, like, you
Well,
dropped
she
24.
averages 22. I mean, she's playing outstanding basketball. She has been all season.
Yes.
She's dropping 22, 3,
and 46% field goal percentage.
46.9 from the field is insane.
Mhm.
Like that is an amazing stat, and she's playing really good ball. To have that record as a freshman, to break the SEC record as a freshman, is really impressive. So if you keep your eyes on collegiate women's basketball, that is a name that I'm sure you will be hearing more of in the future. And in other news, kind of to keep this going, I know Jason's a big baseball guy.
He is our
So I'm
guy.
going to hand this over to him. Max Scherzer, the Max Scherzer,
Yep.
inks a pretty nice deal with who?
With the Toronto Blue Jays.
Well, he's going to Canada.
He's going up to the boys up north. Maybe he'll get a little bit nicer in his time up there. I mean, I don't know what much to say about this contract. It's a 1-year contract, right? I think it's a
15?
contract, huh?
It's like 15 mil, right?
It's
Something like that.
15.1 mil, I think.
Somewhere
Yeah.
around there.
So 1 year. This is one of those contracts.
It's a
Max
safe bet.
Scherzer. Max Scherzer is using this contract to bet on himself.
Yeah.
To try to get, he's getting older. He's not getting any younger, right? He's coming off an injury. He's been battle tested in his career.
Try and get some fire back in him, I'd
You
say.
know,
Oh, he's got fire in him, I can tell you that.
Yeah,
That
he's
man's
got the
always
fire.
fired up.
Yeah, he's got the fire, whether he's doing well or not, and he is not off and not done well. Even last season when he was healthy and came back, he was pitching well.
Yeah.
So he still has plenty in the tank. This is one of those contracts where he's gonna go to Toronto.
Yeah.
He's gonna, and that's silently that's a dang good team.
Yeah,
right there.
they're pretty quiet up north.
Yeah,
For
so that's turning out to be a good bit of a pitching staff. I mean, he's going to pair up with Barrios and Gosman. Is Gosman still there? So
Maybe.
So
I don't pay much
Gosman's
attention
been
to
there.
Toronto.
Gosman's been there for maybe he's I don't know, but
I think he's still there.
that's a good team right there.
It
And
is.
so good for Max Scherzer. he's betting on himself. See what happens after the season.
I think this is really good for Toronto too, because if you've been following off-season baseball, you know that this Toronto team has been trying to sign somebody, noteworthy.
They need someone
for a little
to
bit. They've been
command
trying
it.
to get Pete Alonso. They've been trying to get a lot of guys to go to Toronto, and they've been having some trouble. Guys have been going elsewhere.
Right.
And
guys have been leaving Toronto.
Exactly. So I think this is big for them as an organization to be like, hey, we can still sign people. And we can
still
sign
have
people
money.
So come play here, But in other news, going over to the world of golf real quick. Something pretty crazy happened yesterday. I think it was yesterday. John.
Yes, sir.
What happened?
Good old Rory McIlroy sinked a hole-in-one, 119 yards, par 3. I got the clip up here on the computer. I was like, wait, where'd the ball go?
Exactly.
He drained it.
Aced it.
Literally just went like that. He just tossed it up. And not tossed it up. I mean, but still, he drained it. And it just really helps him for the weekend.
Downtown.
Yeah, and that's highlight reel plays.
That's
you know
insane.
what I'm
You
saying?
don't get that often
Right.
at all.
The last time he had a hole-in-one has been a long time for him. So that's also just a good serotonin.
And it's
boost. I'm not
Rory.
It's Rory.
Just about everybody likes Rory. If you even somewhat pay attention to golf, you probably like Rory. So it's a good guy, and what a shot, dude! No bounce, no nothing, just right in.
Swish O'Drano.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I'm gonna backtrack just a little bit because in our chat, Brandon Dyer dropped a really good question that I want y'all's opinion on. Which is worse, the NFL Pro Bowl or the NBA All-Star Game?
I'm gonna say the Pro Bowl.
I'm gonna say the Pro Bowl too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because
This one's hard.
And this is even coming from a non-NBA fan.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to go for a little bit of devil's advocate, but I'm going to go NBA All-Star Game simply because the fall of the NBA All-Star Game compared to the fall of the Pro Bowl is much worse. The NBA All-Star Game was so much better than the Pro Bowl at its peak. I mean, you get that 2016 All-Star Weekend.
That
dunk contest with Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon when you had
was
Curry and Clay and
robbed.
all those boys in the three-point contest, as well as those All-Star games where it was neck and neck. It was East-West. It was Kobe, LeBron. It was everything you wanted right there. It was so much
Think
better.
about how many championships were in that game.
Exactly.
Total.
I mean, and the Celebrity All-Star game.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Like, when the Celebrity All-Star game was at its peak, and it might still be. I haven't watched the Celebrity All-Star game in quite a minute. But I just
seat filler.
that fall off just kills me, man.
Well, if you're going to talk about the whole entire NBA All-Star Weekend, I think it's still very entertaining, the three-point contest. The three-point contest is very interesting. What was it? It was last season. Curry faced off against who did he face off
Caitlin
against?
Clark? Was that real?
Was that Caitlin Clark?
It was not Caitlin Clark. It was
No, it was not.
It was somebody.
Someone in the WNBA.
But anyways, that was a fun matchup, and that was close too. Curry just barely won that matchup. So the whole entire weekend itself is interesting, and the game they're playing soft, they're doing the thing
The game is brutal.
Bro, they're dunking, and they're
they're not playing
traveling
defense.
halfway across the
Exactly.
court. I mean, it's like playing with the bros. You know what I'm saying? It's
we
not
don't let
that
travel
serious.
slide.
It's not that serious.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like as a viewer, if I'm getting the best basketball players in the league playing against each other, I want that to be high energy. Obviously, don't get injured, but I want that to be a competitive game.
Hey, we're gonna play this game at full speed as hard as you can.
Don't
get injured.
Yeah.
Don't get injured. If you don't get in,
They got that far without getting injured.
It was Steph versus Sabrina. That's
Sabrina.
Oh,
What it was.
yeah.
That's who
right.
it was. She can shoot too.
She can shoot. She can definitely shoot.
And with the little bit of time we had, really quickly, I just kind of want to get your thoughts on something. Obviously, we missed the college football playoff. We were not able to cover the college football playoff, and we are big college football fans here at Triple Threat. So I just wanted to get quick thoughts on the first year of the 12-team playoff. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Would you change it? Do you want to give it another year? What's the temperature in the room feel like?
I say I like it, but it needs tweaks heavily. It just needs
What tweaks?
like I would say it's the seating. I think that's what everyone was talking about, and that's kind of what the huge emphasis was. That's really my main thing. I think the seating needs to be redone because obviously I saw someone reseat it and be like, well, because of this is how it would look, and, but I liked it, I will say. And also just more college football. You can't be mad with it.
Exactly.
I think that, I agree, right? It's the seeding. You have some teams that have a path that's a lot easier. A lot easier. It's college football, so anything can happen. But you can look at games and matchups and say, okay, objectively, that is a much easier path than this team in the quarterfinal or the, whatever. So I think, personally, that the top 4 teams should be the top 4 seeds. I don't think that we need to do.
I like that.
I don't think that we need to do. If you win your conference, you got one of the top 4 seeds because. Yeah.
But I do think if you win the conference, you should get.
You should get in. You should get in if you win the conference.
It should be automatic bid, like how the NCAA is.
Exactly.
You win your conference, you get a bid in.
Yeah. So I say the top 4 teams get the top 4 seeds, and then after that, then you kind of, I don't know what the structure or the the rules, right, to keep it consistent would be for the rest of the lineup, but. That would probably be my biggest difference.
Yeah, I see. I'm kind of I would say I'm in the same boat as you. I kind of liked it. I didn't hate much of it. The first rounds were kind of what we expected. It was going to be some blowouts, which happens in every large tournament. But we got some really good football games down the stretch. It ended really strong, so I really liked it. But I like your thing. I know a lot of people are talking about that bye, like, oh, is the bye the punishment now because the first 4 teams lost? Football's not that kind of sport. No. I just think that was a coincidence.
I feel it's more of like an NFL thing.
Football's one of those things where you get a bye, that should help you. It's not like baseball where you need to keep getting in that groove or like if you don't see if you don't get a live pitch in a game for a week, that can mess you up.
I think that this playoff, this setup, the 12 team, I think it did prove like it brought in a little bit of that underdog mentality, like that anybody can win.
Like that
you saw Arizona.
State.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Like nobody would have thought that. That would not have happened before. Yeah. Arizona State almost went into the Final Four.
Yeah.
Arizona State almost went into the Final Four.
And Arizona State team that was what 3-9 the year before.
Yep.
Yeah. Notre Dame would not have been in the playoffs this year. They would not have been in the playoffs this year at all. So it definitely brought in that little bit. And I think
Ohio State wouldn't have been in the playoffs this year.
Exactly.
I think with that, even with the number 1 seed and the higher seedings losing all those games, that proves that point as well. Like, those underdog teams won every single one of those games.
And that's the beauty of tournaments like this. So you get that in March Madness, right? You get these teams that shoot, in 3-4 years, we could have West Georgia playing in March in the tournament.
Gosh,
that's kind of crazy to think about. Like that's the kind of stuff you get. You get these small teams like St. Peter's did against Kentucky, where they go on these Cinderella runs, and we're kind of seeing that in college football now. We're seeing teams who have never been given these opportunities get these opportunities, and I'm sure we'll see 1 or 2 of them seize them and go all the way. I think that's a perfectly viable thing that can happen. So. All in all, I like the playoff.
Yeah.
I think it was good.
It's good for college football teams. It's good for college football cities. It's good for the states, the cities and the stadiums that host these games. It's good all around. It's a great thing.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
You're good?
Really, the one thing I want to talk about before we head off is I don't know if y'all have noticed.
Yes.
Definitely noticed our shirts. Our man, Jason Barker.
I don't know where the camera is.
My mom got us hooked up.
Mama
real.
Barker took
Mama
care
Barker's
of us.
goated.
Ms. Barker.
And Jason gave us a wonderful gift
Yes.
of these shirts, and we were like, "Hold on, we gotta wear these first
We
episode.
have to wear them.
We have to wear them."
so
So
excited.
I wanted to make sure we get that out. We
got that drip.
We got that drip. Maybe merch would come in the future. We got to talk to our agents and all that.
We
got
got
a
a bio.
lot. Got a lot to figure out. But I forgot we had to shout out the shirts. Shout out
We
your mom,
did. We did have to shout out the
So-
shirt. So, fellas, I think that does it for this episode of Triple Threat. That was a
Man.
really good one.
I enjoyed it
One heck of
thoroughly.
it for me. I can't get this smile off my face because we are back. And we got so much planned for this semester. We're
do.
so excited for what this final season of Triple Threat has to offer. And we will see you next week.